at Hallam University, I did a lot of my research on tourism and nature-based tourism. And numbers and footfall are a very big issue. We talk now in the eastern moors of the Peak District about sharing and sparing, so allowing people to some areas and encouraging them, and quietly discouraging access to other areas. It's a problem. It is a really big problem, because to safeguard these areas, and part of the reason for safeguarding them is for people to enjoy them, and we want to motivate people to get involved and to support people like the National Trust in the projects. But if too many people go there, you actually destroy the things that you're seeking to conserve, which I think is why it becomes very important to highlight the fact that we can do more to create and to nurture other sites away from those core areas. I mean, I've talked to my rewilding colleagues about this. I advise on rewilding in many landscapes, but I particularly work in urban areas like the city of Sheffield. So it's really important to demonstrate to people in cities like Sheffield, Manchester, Lancaster, Leeds, etc., that you can have wild in the city as well. Sheffield's River Don has what I described as self-rewilded. The pollution went. When I was a kid, there was nothing in the River Don. It was biologically dead. We had non-degradable detergent foam blowing around with sewage on it. And we had mutant sticklebacks with 5 eyes. That was it. We now have trout, we have salmon, we have otters, we have herons, kingfishers. We have people fly fishing in the city centre. That is remarkable. And what I try to do is encourage people to go for a walk. We have walkways along the river and say, there, that's wild, that's rewilding. We are converting short mown parkland grass into wildlife meadows full of butterflies, moths and swifts. So it has to be something which is part of a bigger picture. People need to know about Borrowdale, and they can do that remotely, hence, you know, the filming and things like that. That's really, really important. But we need more projects, we need more access, but we also need remote access to provide understanding. And the precious places cannot cope with the huge pressure that we can put on them. There's a further issue that if you are promoting access to these areas, and I come from a countryside management background in the local authority, countryside management services have been cut to the core. If you are going to have visitors, you need to have people to support those visitors and to help explain the importance of the site. And very often now we don't have the countryside rangers on, feet on the ground to deal with those numbers. So that is a really, really big issue. I live in the Peak District. We are one of the most visited national parks in the world, and we can barely afford to have countryside rangers. And yet millions and millions of people drive out there every weekend. It's crazy, in my humble opinion.